What is up, everybody? Leone here again for I think the third time this week with another review video for you. I'm going to review something that's been reviewed to death, but I'll throw my 2 cents out there on this tank. Today is the review for the Aspire Triton tank. Alright, so here we are again, guys. Hope everybody's doing well today. Today is actually Sunday that I'm recording this video, which is odd for me, but I actually have the house to myself, so I'm kind of just catching up on some miscellaneous stuff. So anyways, without further ado, let's get to the Triton tank review. This was sent to me from the company that sent me some juices before, which I reviewed. Rolling Papers Express. They're located out in the UK. That's their card. Camera won't focus on it. Thank you guys for sending that my way for review. I appreciate it. Yes, it was sent for free. I won't change my opinions, obviously, on this, but I have to lay that out there. The Aspire Triton tank is going for $34.49 on rollingpapersexpress.com. Alright, so let's get right to it. Let me give you the specs, the prices, and all that stuff. First of all, what is it? It's a sub-ohm tank that wants to also be a mouth-to-lung tank. So it comes with 2 coils, a 0.4 and a 1.8. So they want you to be able to use it in sub-ohm mode, big old lung kits, and then mouth-to-lung if you so inclined to. Some quick specs on it. Here you go. It is a 3.5 milliliter capacity tank. It uses a BVC coil, which is a bottom vertical coil, if you don't know that already. Unique anti-leak designs, 510. Its height is 73.5 millimeters. Diameter is 22 millimeters, but the airflow ring juts out just a little more, so it's actually 22.5, but it sits fine. The tank is made of stainless steel, and it uses Pyrex glass. You will get a 0.4 and a 1.8 ohm coil, which I already mentioned. Those are the quick specs on the Aspire Triton tank. So I'm going to have a vape here right now. By the way, I'm vaping it on the 0.4 ohm coil with a 70-30 juice in here. And I got the airflow about halfway opened. And I'm rocking her at 36 watts. And it's reading 0.4. Gonna bump it up to 40 watts. There we go. No dry hits whatsoever. You saw me just chain vape it. It keeps up fine. Again, it's a thicker juice. Actually, it feels like it's thicker than a 70, but it claims to be a 70. Keeps up perfectly fine. Just like all the other Aspire sub-ohm tanks, it wicks fantastically. I've had no issues with it. I just vaped it for you in the sub-ohm mode, because at the end of the video I'm going to vape it with a 1.8 ohm coil to show you the performance on that. I have some gripes with this tank. I'll let you know at the end if it's worth it, though. But yes, that's all you need to see up top right now. Let's go down below into the other camera, and I'll tear it apart for you and let you see it close up. Alright, here we are up close with the Aspire Triton tank. We'll do a quick unboxing. Here comes in typical Aspire box. Here it says Triton, Aspire, Triton. It's got some info and some specs on the back and contents of the kit. We're going to go over all that. You get your tank, which I tried to clean out here. Underneath this cardboard material, you're going to get a spare coil. This is the 0.4 ohm coil right there, which I'll show you actually. And then underneath that, you're going to get a little warning card. And that's about it. No spare glass with this one, nothing like that. Just a coil and just one spare coil in the tank. You're going to get 2 coils in total. Here's the 0.4. Haven't used this one yet. See, it's got 4 wick holes, and it's got 4 holes in the bottom here. You can see through the top. They made this center hole diameter a little bigger than the old ones. I compared them side by side, but I can't find my old coil for it now. So yes, they made that hole a little bit bigger, so there's less wicking material here. It is Japanese organic cotton. This is the 0.4 ohm coil. So that's that. I'll set that aside. Let me show you the juicy mess of the 1.8 ohm coil here. You can see the diameter in this one. I'll compare it for you with this one so you can see. There you go. Definitely a bigger diameter, more cotton in the 1.8, and a smaller hole. That's because it's designed for mouth to lung inhales. See, it's still got some pretty good sized juice holes on the side, and the holes on the bottom pin here only got 2, and they're tiny. And again, that's because it's mouth to lung inhale. They have blue O-rings on this, and yes, pretty much the same coil, just a smaller inlet, a smaller coil, more cotton, and smaller holes at the bottom, which make it for a nice draw if you're in for that mouth to lung inhale. So let's take a look at the tank real quick. Very nice aesthetic tank, if you ask me. Aesthetically, it's very nice. It says Aspire right here. You got this vape sign, or this guy vaping. Then you got the droplet here, the e-liquid droplet. When you have this little arrow here on the e-liquid, it's in fill mode. So you pop off the drip tip here, the drip tip and the juice flow control. Then you'll see down here you have those 2 holes. One there and then one there. Those are open, so you will shoot your liquid into those holes to fill it. And when you're done filling it, you take the arrow from the liquid and just turn it, and you'll hear it click into place. It's got detents there. And you put it on the vape guy, and you'll see those holes will be closed off. I'll show you that action. Open, closed. And also when you do that, you can see this hole here. Yes, so when you do that, you'll see that hole close off. So it won't let any juice into the coil. And then if you open it, you'll see that hole open right up. All the holes will open up. There you go. So that's the unique top fill design there and how they constructed it. You could take the base off here. That just unscrews. And you got a 510 connection, obviously. You got knurling down here, knurling here. Your coil will screw into this area right here. And we'll put this new coil in. We'll use this one. And it says Triton here on the bottom. Then you have the rest of the tank, which does not come apart, which in my opinion is a major con. You can't take this Pyrex glass. By the way, this is stainless steel and Pyrex glass. You cannot take them apart, so cleaning this is a little bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. And also, if you want to switch juices, it's a pain in the ass also, because you just have to kind of open up the holes up here and hold your tank like this and just let it kind of drip out. So it does become a little bit of a pain in the ass. We'll talk about that later though. But yes, and then that's it really. I mean, like I said, stainless steel Pyrex, put your coil in there, drip some juice on there, get this cotton nice and wet before you use it, fill up your tank, and let it sit for about 5 minutes so the cotton can get nice and soaked up. And here is the airflow for this tank right here. It's a nice smooth airflow control, very smooth, not too easy to move and not too loose. It's really the perfect adjustment. So it's a lot thinner than the other one. It's a thin slot here, but you got one on each side. You got one here and you got one here, and it's fully adjustable. This ring will move all the way around, so you can adjust that to your taste, to your preference, and it really is wide open. It's a lot of airflow, so don't be fooled by these slots. It is really a lot of airflow. One thing before I'm done here, let me show you the drip tip here. It is removable. It's a decent sized bore on here, pretty wide bore. And then you have this area here, which is for your airflow control on your drip tip. So you can see that hole there, it's wide open, and there's 2 slots, one on each side. And if you turn that, you can close it off. I don't usually use it because it mutes the flavor, but if you are looking for more airflow, just use the airflow up here. It will also cool down your vape also. Yeah, that's pretty much the Aspire Triton tank close up and personal. Let's go up top, let's vape on, and I'll tell you my thoughts and opinions. Alright, so you saw the close-ups on the Aspire Triton tank. It's got some bad things going on, some good things going on, obviously. But right now, for demonstration purposes, I popped in the 1.8 ohm coil head. I put in some 12 milligram nic juice. And I'm vaping it the way I usually vape. I vape mouth to lung, obviously. And here you go. Here's the performance on that. And bear in mind the tank is a little bit flooded right now, which I'll get to in a minute. I have the airflow about halfway open. The draw is really nice, a real nice mouth to lung draw. And I have her at 13 watts, and it's reading 1.87. It's a very good draw. Actually, I've been enjoying this in mouth to lung inhale mode, except for one major problem. It gurgles like a bitch when you do it in 1.8 mode. I don't know if it's because it's a thinner juice or what, because it doesn't do it when I use my 70/30 low nic juice that I used for the 0.4 ohm head. I didn't have any gurgling, any leaking, none of that whatsoever. But when I use this juice from Moon Mountain here, which is a 65-35 blend, which means 65 VG, 35 PG, so it's not that thin. I mean, be the guess for yourself on how thin that is. Alright, so I popped off that drip tip, and I'm putting on this drip tip here. That's with my K-Fun V4. It's one of my favorite drip tips. Put that on there. It looks nice, actually, with that on there. That drip tip's a little too big for mouth to lung. Some advice I'd give Aspire was, if you're going to make it a dual-use tank, at least provide another drip tip for when you're using it in mouth to lung mode. Yeah, just it'd be nice, because it's too airy. That the drip tip itself lets too much air in there, and it kind of makes it a little uncomfortable. With this drip tip in here, airflow half open. And it performs really good. I've been using this a lot alongside my K-Fun. It's fantastic. And it says 10 to 13 watts on the coil to rock it. I've been rocking it around 14, 15 watts, and it's been fine. I've had no dry hits. Same thing with the 0.4 ohm coil. Again, it says up to 30 watts on that coil. I've been rocking it at about 40, 45 watts, and it's been fine. So they underrated their coils, definitely. Maybe just to cover their asses, probably. But yeah, you can definitely rock these coils higher than the recommended number. They can definitely withstand the power. If you want a real nice, tight mouth to lung, you can nip this up pretty tight here, actually. Let's try that. So it's definitely performs well in the mouth to lung. Now, let's get to the major con here. The major two cons I have with this tank. Filling it in with the 1.8 ohm coil with the 65-35 juice I'm using right now, which again, it's not that thin. It's a pretty decently heavy VG juice. It's prominently VG, obviously. I fill it from the top, and all that happens is it floods up. I've tried tilting it, kind of filling it different ways to make the juice not go in that way. No matter what I do, it floods. Every time it floods. And I can't vape through it because it's just so flooded that when I take the coil out of the tank, actually, and I turn the coil upside down, it just drips liquid. It is overly flooded. So it's a serious problem with the 1.8 ohm coil. Now, if you're using this for mouth to lungs, which is the primary use of this tank, no issues with that whatsoever. It's been fine. But in the secondary mode that it does have available, it does give you the option. It doesn't work without the flooding. That's my experiences. Maybe it's just me. Please let me know if you have a Triton, and let me know if you've used it with the 1.8 ohm coil, and if you do have flooding, and what viscosity juice you're using, because maybe it's a viscosity, but I don't want to vape in 80-20 when I do mouth lungs. I like a little more PG when I'm doing it that way, because I'm going for the throat hit, obviously. So it's a major con. Now, I'm going to show you here a clip of how I fill it when I have the 1.8 ohm coil. It's a pain in the ass. Let me show you how I fill it to not make it flood, basically. Now, this is the way I've been filling it with the 1.8 ohm coil so I don't get leaking. Now again, this is only with the 1.8 ohm coil I'm experiencing that. Inside of here, you can see this hole right here, these outer holes. There's one there and there's one on the opposite side right here. So those holes there. Now if you have a needle tip bottle with or a nice syringe bottle, or a syringe in general, I'm using a dropper, which is really hard to do. What I do is I put my dropper inside that hole, and I have the arrow on the vape sign right now. So do not put the arrow on the drop sign, because if you do, the liquid will come out the top here. So leave it like that. And then take your dropper, and again, this is really hard to see on camera, but I have that dropper inside that hole, and gently, see the liquid going in there, fill it. So that's how I've been filling it. So you can only fill it really up to this hole here, because once you tilt it, you know, the liquid would go through there and down the center. And if you fill it that way, and then assemble it again, you're good to go. Now, just bear in mind, this is my experience with it. I just want to let you guys know about it. And you could see it's not really that full. I could probably put more liquid in here, but again, when I fill through the top, I get gurgling, flooding issues. So that's unfortunately the way it has to be done. So that's how I have to fill it, and unfortunately, at least for me, that's the only way, and it's hard to fill it that way, it really is. But it's the only way I can get it not to flood on me. So it's a major con. The other con that I'm going to get to here is the tank. It doesn't disassemble. I mean, the base comes off, the drip tip comes off, but that is it. You can't take it any further, and it really is a pain in the butt to clean. You have to soak it in water, swish it around a lot to get the residual flavor out. It's really a pain in the butt to go between flavors. It really is. So you break the glass on this guy, you're fucked. You pretty much have to buy a whole new tank. I haven't seen any, replacement glasses, and I don't even know how you could get the glass out of there. So it's a huge con, considering it's about a $35 price tag on this tank, around $35 that is. It's, you break it, you're out $35, you gotta go buy another one. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Now, let me give you my final thoughts on this, okay? So, I definitely recommend this in straight up lung inhale mode. Straight up lung inhales, it's perfect. Besides not being able to take the tank apart, it is perfect in lung inhale mode. Now, if you are buying this for mouth to lung, beware that it's a pain in the ass to fill. At least it has been for me. Just beware of that. Again, it's primarily a lung inhale tank, but unfortunately, the way I like to vape is mouth to lung, and it does have that option, so I wish that option would be a little bit better. But once filled and ready to go, it is a fantastic vape in that mode. A fantastic vape. The flavor's pretty decent. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's right in the middle. It's pretty decent. Minus the whole gurgling, flooding, filling issue, it is fantastic. So, if you're going to get it for mouth to lung, I would stay away probably, just because it's a pain in the butt. It really is a pain in the butt to fill. Now, if you're going to get it like most people are going to get it, do lung inhales and blow out some clouds, perfectly fine tank. No issues whatsoever. So, those are my opinions on this. Aspire, either make a tank devoted to lung inhales and make a tank devoted to mouth to lung inhales, because doing it together, it's not working for you guys. So, let me just make a plea here. There are people that are trying to quit smoking, and they don't vape the way a lot of us are vaping now with straight up lung inhales. I like lung inhales. I do them. I do them every day, but primarily mouth to lung, and then, for fun, I do my lung inhales. So that's it, guys. That is the review of the Aspire Triton tank from rollingpapersexpress.com. Again, they're located in the UK. Check them out if you're in the UK, or even if you're out here, you want to check them out, go for it. Thank you guys for watching. You may subscribe to my channel with a link down below. And stay tuned for next week, because we're going to have the giveaway. I'm going to announce the giveaway and everything that's going to be given away. I got a lot of stuff piling up here to give away. And until next time, live well and vape on, guys.